liberty, fairness, equity, and justice.
In practical terms, these are very good sounding words, but in practical terms, what does Biafra mean?
Confederation.
So, a weak center,
Very weak.
very strong regions.
Absolutely.
Have you had a change of mind, therefore, about getting an independent Biafra? Because that's what I seem to be hearing.
No, I've not changed my mind, no. An independent Biafra means going back to where we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation when you say a confederation. You're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing
Or
else.
death, yes.
Or death.
That's correct.
If push comes to shove,
Yes.
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So no war. You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I don't believe in war. No, no war. When I say Biafra order, then I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic national, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
everyone together to say this is all, others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit.
Is it too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust.
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened. 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's? Reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else. What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, you had Portsmouth, Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man wants to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned? This Biafra that you want. So, for example, if we're doing a referendum, where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
No.
It's okay.
It's on, which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River, 5, of course. Those are the coasters. Basically,
Bielsa?
Yes. Southeast and South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Igedem, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So the Igalas and part of the Kogi state, right? Nyesom Wike, the governor of the governor of Rivers State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and said, you should not be including Rivers State and the Kwere people.
Not him. I can decide for Biafrans. They have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for us. It's only one man, one vote.
But what if they're not even willing to take part in the referendum? Because I've had people from the South, for example, from Bielsa. I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
I was there yesterday. I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
they were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception. Where she to go to?
She's a big, popular Nollywood actress. I wouldn't necessarily.
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.
Alright, welcome back to this wonderful channel where I'll bring you back-to-back updates and information as to the hot. In case you have not joined our social media, and what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. We'll collect them. Let's go down to the news proper, to the hot. You don't hear that information from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ọhamadike, one of ndị Igbo a na-asị na odogwu pụta amanụ na anya bụ odogwu apụtago na anya bụ ife na-eme adịrịzi. You can see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's composure. You can see the way he's relaxed, his accent, his way of answering question. I don't think that there is any leader, even the president, the governors in NIG, that could be compared with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His display of wisdom, his display of his opulence of wisdom, cannot be compared to any governor. And this will tell you the reason why this man is being fought, the reason why they are against him, the reason why they don't want him to, succeed or survive, because they know that, and the reason why they are also making sure that he is kept in the DSS detention, because they know his qualities, they know his capabilities, they know what he is up to, they know what he can do. They know that his mouth is very sharp. They know that he is wise. They know his understanding. They know his deep wisdom. And they know that he is a man who is bent on getting whatever he wants. When the woman, the interviewer, asked her, what do you think if they give to you and you can forget about this freedom? He said that even death cannot stop him. And he was asked if he would go to war. He said no. A lot of these are some of evidence, because these people will not bring the right evidence. Nnamdi Kanu has said it before now that he is not ready to go to war. That even though he prefer dying in this struggle, but it is not true war, but truth, through bringing about truth, through speaking the truth, through enlightening the people. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never forced anybody to follow him, but his followership was as a result of opening the people's mind, as a result of his exposition. Just like what is happening in Burkina Faso today. A lot of people are, especially the Westerners, are against Ibrahim Traore because he is not leading the people through the barrel of gun, but he was able to buy his people's love by exposing them to the truth, by opening their eyes, opening the eyes of their understanding to see, to know that these Westerners have reaped them. These Westerners are predators on them. Up until before Ibrahim Traore came into power, Burkina Faso, a nation that produces so much gold annually, never had a gold reserve. And these these predators that call themselves governors, presidents, they don't like people who speak the truth. Even, I'm not saying it as a prophet, but with what we have seen in the past, the people that is going to rise against Ibrahim Traore very soon are his own people. I know that as it is now, the Westerners are cooking for him. And not just cooking for him maybe through the barrel of gun, but cooking for him through his own people to get him down. Those who are eating from that illegal means. Most of the government we have had in Africa are the government, illegal governments. Government who benefits the Westerners. Most time you see in some countries, before someone becomes the president in Africa, it's either they visit London, or they visit France, or they visit America, they visit all these places before they will become. And this is where who is going to rule us is being dictated. Even though we've had our independence, but these people are still dictating. They are still the one who dictates what happens to Africans through, imposing leadership on them. So most times they come as electoral observers, but they are not there to observe election. They are there to observe if their plans are actually working out. Because even though Africans, agreed they had independence, but there were some deals signed, and these deals were the foundation of African independence. America had their independence through 30 years war. A continuous 30 years war took place in America before America had her independence. Before they were able to have their independence, they fought the British. It was not an easy journey. So, telling me that Africa, who had their independence just, through negotiations, through meetings, through conferences and all that, and you think you've had your freedom. Africa has their freedom, but they are still indirectly not independent. They are still dependent on the country who gave them freedom, and that is what is still happening. All right, let me not bug you with a lot of truth and a lot of things which most people don't like, but this is where I'll be winding down the curtain. And if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drops, you'll be the first to see it. Thank you for listening. God bless you.